Hello, we are back and we are going to be continuing trying to get top 1 in New Zealand. Let's do this. You know, I was thinking about getting a wrist brace because I feel like my wrists are going to die with this. I don't know, I hear about a lot of people getting serious wrist injuries from this. So I was like, maybe if I can prevent it before it happens by wearing a wrist brace. I mean, it would probably hinder my gameplay for a bit, but that's alright, because I would just get used to it. Yeah, I was totally not stalking Haste's YouTube channel. I mean, you gotta do your research. You gotta, find out who you're up against. But yeah, I was totally not stalking him. I was just doing my research. And I found Haste had done a map with 99.13 accuracy. It was a fairly straightforward map. It wasn't a difficult one, but 99%. No, that's just incomprehensible to me right now. Let's go, 94. Accuracy is getting better. I'm climbing. Let's see where we're at. 46th. Let's go, let's go. We go again. That's really cool. I'm always amazed at the modders. They do so well constantly. I am climbing at an unbelievable rate. Somebody's climbing faster though. Gotta get up there. I've got a job. But when I was applying for it and I did my interview stages, I ended up accidentally making a sports joke, which is hilarious because I don't know the first thing about sports. I had worked in a supermarket and it was like a place in the supermarket which we could listen to the public radio in it. So I had a huge amount of exposure to just mainstream public radio. Now, at the time, the New Zealand rugby team they weren't doing so great. They were very much on the back end of things. And on the radio, there was the phrase, New Zealand likes an underdog, was just the common thing that everyone was saying. So come to my interview stage, and we're just sitting there over lunch, and they're telling us about this competition, this inter-department competition. It's actually a cooking competition. And they were saying that their department, the department that I'm trying out for, lost 10 times in a row. So this is when I was like, I remember a phrase on the radio, and maybe it will be relatable. I will say, hey, don't worry about it. New Zealand likes an underdog. And the person who I said it to was like, yeah, wait, no. And then everyone burst out laughing, and I still had no clue what I had just said. So I'm just sitting there going, hang on, after this ends, I'm gonna have to do some mad Googling to figure out what I just did. Turns out, what had happened literally 2 days before this interview stage, there was a match between the All Blacks, New Zealand's rugby team, and the Irish rugby team. And the Irish had their hopes up. They had their hopes up really high, because they were like, New Zealand's never been at a lower point in their life before. It's time, we can beat them, let's go. And they hyped themselves up, and they ended up getting smashed. Now, the reason why this was funny was because the hiring manager who I said this phrase to happened to have a very thick Irish accent. So I just said to the person, yo, your team lost. And I was just laughing nervously. That's the best joke that I've ever made in my life. And it wasn't even on purpose. I played a huge amount of Beat Saber with the number 5 New Zealand player on multiplayer, and the recording stuffed up 16 minutes into it, so that's not great. It was really OBS's fault, so later we'll play some more Multiplayer Plus because he's a really cool person. I'll link his channel in the description. Anyway, in that time, we managed to climb quite a few places, actually. While in multiplayer, Floffy and I managed to get the score up to 41st in New Zealand. Yeah, so I didn't cross over the 41, but I got pretty close. This is a 6-minute song. What was I thinking? Oh, I got my first 300 score, which was nice. You know, I don't have the recording of it, but that's fine. I'll have to get more 300s anyway if I want to get #1 in New Zealand. I'm gonna check my ranking. Surely I'm below. Surely. I am 40th. There we go. Most of the 40s were off camera. Just one more, right? Just one more. Found a pretty cool trick to stop the headset from fogging up. All you have to do is eat an ice cube before you start, and then just like that, it doesn't fog up. We are 39th. I'm gonna try and get under 6,500. I got into the Oceanic Beat Saber Discord through Floffy, which I am eternally grateful for, but I feel like an imposter there. There are just like a bunch of people there which are really good at the game. I'm just sitting there like, I'm trying. I'll get there eventually though, so I guess that's fine. Not a 94, unfortunate. 93.9 is alright though. Good news, by the way, I'm gonna be getting a car soon. That's pretty exciting. It's gonna be a Toyota Aqua, and it's a hybrid, because I like to save money on fuel. Yeah, I might end up buying it today. Nearly there, below 6,500. Below 6,500. What's that put me? Come on. 37th.